Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kajuri Alameen. I am still breathing. I am still breathing, for which I'm very, very grateful. Of the many groups that I do, one of the other groups I do a group called resentment groups. Resentment group. I allow a lot of people walking the planet, highly respected, with a lot of resentments. And I'm not here to judge. I'll be the jury. I want to give you some different lights on the dynamics of resentment. Some people are resenting things. They don't even know what resentment means. Some people know what resentment means, and they are dealing with it to the best of their ability. But I want to speak about resentments because we taste these things sometime in life. Excuse me. The definition of resentment is a bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly, displeasure, irritation, hate, ill feelings. Excuse me once again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go with this definition again of resentments. A bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly, displeasure, irritation, hate, or ill feelings. There are a lot of people walking around with these dynamics in their mind as I speak today. I know it for a fact. So you want to get to a point where you're working through these dynamics. You're working through your displeasure. You're working through your irritation. You're working through your hate. You're working through ill feelings. You're working through being able to being treated unfairly by somebody else. And sometimes we've been treated unfairly by our own self. But we have these feelings. They're very, very real. But I want to encourage you to continue to work through it. Be very, very patient as you're working through it. And some of the questions I want to ask you, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you to get your pen and a piece of paper and write these questions down, and in your private time answer these questions, because to thine own self you must be true. And of course, in my groups, I peel the onion a little deeper with that, but I'm going to peel it a little bit with you right now. But I want you to write these questions down as it relates to resentments, and I want you to answer, I want answers to these questions, because I'm a firm believer that the best medicine to take is our own. And nobody is supposed to take your own medicine but you. The question goes as follows as it relates to resentments. Number one, are you repressing any self-resentments? Everything I do, ladies and gentlemen, I've learned over these years of doing groups, we got to start and begin with self. Are you repressing any self-resentments? Repressing, of course, are you holding back on any self-resentments? Are you dealing with any yesterday resentments towards yourself that you have not cut the umbilical cord on yet? Do you have any resentments against other people? You notice I said self first, and then I come back and say, do you have any resentments against other people? And this is something only you would know. Is it healthy to have resentments? Like I say, you got to make your own decisions. Is it healthy to have resentments? It's something only you would know once again. Are you really honest with yourself? Sometimes we deal with resentments and we don't know how to, we rationalize them away. We're not ready to get honest with ourselves yet. So I'm asking you the question, are you really honest with yourself? Only you would know these things once again, ladies and gentlemen. How will you know when you have healed from your resentments? Let me say this again. How will you know when you have healed from your resentments? How will you know when you have healed from your displeasure, your irritation, your hate, your ill feelings? Once again, this is only something you would know. Only something you would know. And I want to encourage you to work through it. It's a process. You don't try to microwave it, crock pot this thing. Work through it inch by inch, and you will get there. Once again, I know a lot of people who are working with what I call this microwave healing that don't stick and stay. You got to put this thing in the crock pot and cook it real slow. It's not a rush. Whatever resentments you're dealing with, or whatever resentments are dealing with you, you had those experiences. Nobody else. Nobody else. You had those experiences. In order for you to work through them, work around them, work on them, work on them, work over them, you have to move with your own human time clock. Nobody else's time clock. Not nobody else's experiences, and don't allow anybody else to put their experiences on you or where you should be working through your resentments. It didn't happen to them. They didn't have the experience. And even if they had the experience, they didn't have your experiences. Everybody got a different DNA. So don't rush it, ladies and gentlemen, but please work through your resentments. Okay, once again, we taste these things in life. A quick recap. Resentments mean a bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly, displeasure, irritation, hate, or ill feelings. We all taste these things. If you say you haven't, you're telling a lie. And I feel good about that piece. Be honest with this thing. Questions. Are you repressing any self-resentments? Are you repressing any self-resentments? Got to start with you first. Do you have any resentments against other people? Do you have any resentments against other people? Is it healthy to have resentments? Once again, only you can answer these questions. Is it healthy to have resentments? Are you really honest with yourself? Are you really honest with yourself? Do you say what you feel, and do you feel what you say as it relates to resentments? And last but not least, how will you know when you have healed from your resentments? How will you know? Not nobody else, not he or she or they or it or we. How will you know when you have healed from your resentments? How will you know when you have healed from your displeasure, your irritation, your hate, or your feelings? That's only a question you can answer, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I've seen some wonderful things happen in all my groups. But I'm talking about my resentment groups right now. I've seen some wonderful things happen, some breakthroughs come through from people. A lot of people didn't know what resentment meant. But I break it down and they have an understanding. They're able to talk and share in an intimate setting where they're not judged. And that's how, once again, I'm a believer in groups. I'm a believer in authentic healing. Healing is a process, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time to heal. What you're dealing with and what's dealing with should happen over time. In order to be able to work through it, I'm saying it by design, you got to deal with it over time. This is not a microwave thing. So be where you are where you be. When your head and your heart's playing the same music, that means you are in harmony with yourself. But if you're saying one thing and feeling something else, if you're feeling something else and saying something else, you're not in harmony yet. Respect your own experiences. Learn from others, yes. Listen to others, yes. But you respect and value your own experiences. Because we all got our own experiences. We all writing our own story. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, are you honest with yourself as it relates to resentments? And I want to close by saying this. How will you know when you have healed? I mean, you become healthy again. How will you know? That's the question only you can answer. Stay up, stay strong, continue to work through your resentments. Peace and blessings.